Well, this is what it's like being in the Pine Barrens when it's really, really dry, and show you where at Edgewood. Tomorrow we're going to go a little further out east. It's a little warm for that, and there's a red flag warning in effect. But it's really, really dry. Let's just show you how dry it is. See the dust that's coming off when you walk. If I walk real fast, see the cloud of dust. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, it's really, really dry out here. Amazing how beautiful the pines look, even though it's so dry. It's crazy. They still look amazing. I can tell you, these trees can take very little rain, I guess, right? Very warm today, too close to 70 degrees again. But we do have a nice blue sky, so that's why I'm here. Still a little bit of color from the oaks here, but the leaves are falling fast on a lot of these trees. You can see there's a lot of leaves here on the ground here. They're all very dried out too. Just listen, let's look at the dust coming up. Just as I do that, it's crazy. Yes, lots of pines here. But I think the oaks are done. We're going to start looking at the pine. Pines still aren't completely done oranging out. They're almost there, but we need some rain. You can see it just looks very dry even here. And again, if I let's stir up some dust here. When you just walking, you create clouds of dust. It's unbelievable. Of course, now when I take the camera out, there was a pretty decent breeze that was blowing. It was blowing through, but that's the concern we have today because we got that red flag warning. So far, I've not heard about any big wildfires on Long Island, New Jersey. I don't understand why it's not happening here. I just don't understand why it's not happening here, but I'm guessing it's just because of all that rain we got in August. But this is an area where it's very dry. You got all these pine needles too, which have really dried out too. All that stuff, very dry. Listen to that. Very dry. It's eerie. I don't even hear any birds. You hear birds, it's so quiet. It's so dry. Everything is just so dry. So, you know, I said I wasn't going to talk about the election anymore, but I'm going to talk about it a little more because it's really unfortunate that the planet really lost in this election. I mean, the planet was going to lose either way, I guess, but the planet's going to lose more now. People just don't value the planet like I do. They don't value the environment like I do. And I still don't regret voting for Harris, and I would do it again, even though she lost. But she failed to connect with the voters, you know. She didn't even care. She didn't even really bring up the environment very much in her campaign. All she was talking about was abortion and there's something looks like some kind of wasp over there or something. But other than that, I mean, she didn't really talk about the environment. She didn't talk about equality. She only spoke about abortion and democracy, and that's it. So either way, the planet was going to lose. Either way, I guess you got to look at it like that. Oh, look at these pines, though. You know, most people just don't value the environment like I do, and it's just, there used to be water here. Yeah, this used to be wet. It's completely dry. It is completely dry here. Yeah, we're in the midst of beautiful pines here, though. This is an area that's had fires in the past, so that's why it's so piney, but yeah, this area here is just really dry. I mean, this used to be a little lake over here, in the middle of the trail. It is bone. You can't find any moisture here. None. But yeah, I mean, you look at both parties, you look at both political parties, and none of them really talk about the environment. Climate change, nobody really cares about it. Nobody cares about what's going on with this planet. You'll see people post about it, but nobody's willing to actually do anything. Like change their lifestyles, like giving up driving and taking more public transportation to start, you know. And if you are driving a smaller vehicle instead of these big pickup trucks and SUVs. But again, it's both sides. You know, either way, we're screwed and we're doomed. As the climate crisis will worsen, and it'll be us that will go extinct first. Well, there'll be other creatures too, but I'm hopeful the pine barrens can get through this, even if we're not around. Hopefully these pines will still be here after we're gone. But, you know, humanity just doesn't learn their lesson, you know. And Kamala, she failed to connect with the Democratic voters because she was trying to be too much of an establishment candidate, you know. She was working with Liz Cheney. I mean, these are establishment people. The voters don't like that stuff, you know. You know, she didn't even talk about climate change. You got to remember, Kamala Harris, as well as Joe Biden, they supported fracking. Yeah, they supported all that stuff. So, like I said, the planet comes last when it comes to most people. The planet comes last. I'm not like that. I'm different. To me, the planet comes first. But again, I guess I'm definitely in the minority here. I guess this election was a reminder of that. This is another area that used to have water in it that's just bone dry now, man. This is the worst drought I've ever seen, man. Worst drought I've ever seen. Look at how far I got it. That soil is dry all the way through, man. It's something. I really hope we get rain this week, next week, because even if we do, it's not going to be enough. When we get too much rain, we don't get enough rain. This is all predicted. The climate scientists said this would happen, but again, most people, they just don't want to believe climate science, you know, and we just elected somebody who denies climate change, so that's just, you know, Kamala, for all her faults, she didn't deny climate change, but again, it's not something I gotta accept that most people, they just don't care about the planet like I do, you know, it's all. I mean, look at my fellow Long Islanders. They don't speak up when the pine barrens are destroyed. You know, so a perfect example of that. And I'm sure they're going to be celebrating on Wall Street big time because they won big again today. They've been winning huge all week long after Trump got elected. So, and that's just going to accelerate the plan further because the more money and more power Wall Street gets, the more they're going to control things here on Long Island and finish the plan to force people like me out of New York. Most of the leaves have fallen already. They fell off fast, so I'm not going to see much. And these leaves are just so dry. Again, everything is so dry. This is crazy. What you got to do is look at how both parties have failed us. You know, one party may be more into the denial of climate change, but both parties, both the Democrats and the Republicans, have really failed to address climate change. The United States as a whole has failed. And you know we're going to probably be leaving the Paris Agreement, which, again, is kind of a joke to begin with. Well, it's already too late, like I said. It is too late. I mean, only if we've got a couple of big volcano eruptions, the right kind of volcano eruptions, like Mount Pinatubo, we'll probably need a couple of those every, say, 5 years or so. Maybe we could reverse this climate change and start cooling the planet down. But other than that, I mean, it's 70 degrees here. November 8th. It was in the mid-70s yesterday, 80 degrees the day before. This is going to probably be the warmest period on record. We keep breaking new records time and time again. But again, people, they don't really care, you know. humanity, especially in this country, just doesn't seem to ever want to learn their lesson with this. I mean, you look at the people we have in our government, and it's not, like I said, it's both parties. None of them really value climate change, that we got to change our ways. None of them really talk about it the way it should be spoken about. So, well, that's all I'm going to say on this. But for now, in this video, but I'm never going to shut up about what we're doing to this planet. Yeah, we're going to head west along an old power line right away. Of course, used to have the 33, used to be able to get over there. Now I got to walk a little bit further to get the 5, but beautiful pines here. Shame people just don't appreciate this place. It's just forgotten. Nobody cares about it. At least in New Jersey they care about it. But here on Long Island, yeah. The only other person I saw was on a dirt bike, and they're not supposed to be riding dirt bikes in here. That's it. It's beautifully... I mean, it's a beautiful day. It's ridiculously warm, but it is a beautiful day out here. Got a nice blue sky. There might still be some color from these oaks here. Yeah, these shapes are sure something else, though, I'll tell you that. But, yeah. Sometimes you just need to be away from people. I'm going to be with plenty of people living it up later. I just want to... I know I don't belong with those people. I belong over here. I know that. Listen to that wind. It sounds so dry. Because it is so dry. Wish they'd put these power lines underground. Because this is another thing that we're going to have to prepare for as we deal with these kind of conditions. We really can't risk, all right, we have an extreme wind event, these power lines come down and start a wildfire. Wouldn't happen if they were buried underground. We need to start doing that. That wind's starting to pick up. Yeah, this is a beautiful spot. I'm going to be making a left and heading on back. This trail's kind of narrow. It's a wider trail that I could have made a left on, but I wanted to go over here because I had a feeling there'd be more to look at here. And there's still some color from these scarlet oaks as well. So, oh yeah, quite a bit actually. Again, it would be much easier if they removed these power lines. They really need to remove these power lines. Let's take them down, because they need to recut this trail so they can remove the power lines, put a new trench in, put the power lines underground. Take a look at this. Now this is exactly, we got to be careful because there's some green briar in here, but I'm gonna have to bushwhack because of the damn power lines. But you can see here, yeah, it's beautiful. Turkey vultures. See them, but there they are, soaring above us. Take a look at these pines here. Yeah, I kind of had a bushwhack to get this photo, get in here, because look at this scene. Beautiful. Yeah, they got to get rid of these power lines. They really got to bury them. It's kind of disappearing on us here. And we'll be back tomorrow. We're going to be further out east, so. Wish I could have gone further out east today, but going tomorrow. So let's get on this path here, because that path is just disappearing on us. Hear the road. I think we're coming up to it soon. Just look at these shapes here, man. Yeah, it's getting windier. Well, we've just about reached the road. See, that power pole looks a little crooked, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. Well, we're in the middle of the island, so it's not a surprise. But anyway, my mission continues to try to convince people to care about the planet more, and especially to care about the Pine Barrens more, especially here on Long Island. So, with that, this wraps up this video. Thank you for watching, and remember what it's all about. It's all about those great shapes.